Howdy y'all, welcome to Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. I got 102 of these already. Need to work on the old base today. I don't have a spot for my garden yet. My plan here is I want to get a little bit more. Please don't fall off. A little bit more room around the outside of my machines here. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into making some of these metal girders, which I don't normally build with. And, or maybe I should just go into concrete and build those up off of that building there for my garden. That is my current thought. I just want to get that a little protection around that ladder here. So, let's see, do I have a hammer here? I do. So let's get out this hammer, get it repaired. It looks like it's about to break. Oh, you know what? My wrench is also about to break. I'm probably going to need to head back over to the old base as well at some point here. Get another load of supplies that need to go into the forge. We'll see how that goes. So while we're on this, I want to talk about... So I've mentioned a bajillion times, that highly technical number of bajillion, that I like a game with a good storyline. And and so I'm not gonna say I read every little tiny word in the Final Fantasy XIV story so far, obviously, but it's weird to me, and I'm not saying I didn't like it. I did enjoy the storyline that I have played through so far. I just want to talk about how weird of a story choice it is for my particular class. Alright, so I want to see about... I need rebar, right? Rebar frames right here. How many of those can I get? Yeah, why don't you do those up? While you're doing those up, I'm going to get on the bike and head out back to my other base to grab some more metals. So I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, and it's an MMO, and I don't quite get why, but they do this thing where the classes, you have to get to level 30 for your class to change from a basic class to an advanced class, I guess. Oh, computer's like, I don't want to load it. And so it's a little weird because, and I've talked about this before, but it's a little weird because I've played through other MMOs that do this, and so like in, I want to say it was EverQuest 2, right? At one point, either in EverQuest or EverQuest 2, your class was in 3 parts. all the spellcasters shared a base. So like the base spellcaster, I don't remember what it was called, mage maybe, um, would start out with. I know it changed at some point, but at one time it was the first 10 levels, I think, were your basic spellcaster, and all the spellcasters shared that. And then at level 10, you split from mage to your subclass, they called it. And so that was, there were 4 of those, I believe. And I don't remember what all the names were. But those were more refined. So you went from, um, just a caster to, in my case, a summoner, right? Now the summoner had some basic summons between levels 10 and 20, and but they weren't very specific at that point. Um, and so like the summons were like a bug, right? And then at level 20, and I know this is all changed now, but when I played through it originally, it was like this. And then at level 20, you chose your actual class, and so it went mage, summoner, and then at level 20, you chose um, conjurer, which was elemental based summons, or necromancer, which is undead summons. And then at that point, they got very different spell sets, and so that was, that was interesting. I'm pretty sure they changed it so you just were your thing from the beginning, and uh, what happened was, um, that's an interesting story actually, or interesting look at MMO mechanics. So at one point, what was going down was that I guess I got all the metal. Well, this says I can make more iron, 7 more. Um, so at one point, like every class's gear was looked at, and everything was individual to the class, and um, like spells, every spell had a different name, and so I remember when every spell had a different name, but sometimes they were upgrades of lower level spells. Uh, right, so you might have like arcane blast, and then that turned into arcane bolt, and then that became arcane lance. And so they decided that people were struggling to understand the how the spells upgraded each other. They all shared a timer, so like arcane blast, arcane bolt, arcane lance were all on the same. I don't know what I was just doing here. We're all on the same timer, so you couldn't cast all of them. And because they were the same spell, just upgraded versions of the spell. And I believe they all had different animations as well. And so, in an effort to streamline the amount of work, I guess, really, I think it was. There's some weird limitations that they talked about with EverQuest a lot, and Minecraft as well, on how there was a limit on how many things they could have in the world, and that included spell animations. And so, in order to cut down on the behind the scenes overhead, and I think they were a little lazy on coming up with spell names and stuff, they changed it. And so I'm pretty sure it was right around that time that's when they also changed the classes. And so the classes went back down to um, basically you start as what you want to be, and then you get like Arcane Bolt, and then Arcane Bolt never changes after that. And so as you level up, you get more and more powerful versions of Arcane Bolt, but they don't become a new spell, they just become Arcane Bolt 2, Arcane Bolt 3, Arcane Bolt 4, etc. And which was sad because it was cool. I really liked one of the things that I really liked with the summoner class was that you would summon a creature, and the level of your spell, because the spells individually also had multiple levels. So there was like the apprentice version of summon, um, apprentice 1 through 4. Uh, was it adept 1 and 3? 2 was special, and not every spell had an adept 2. And then there was the master levels, and then there was the grandmaster levels. Um, and so every version of that spell changed what the summons look like, right? And so lowest level summons was a fire beetle, right? And then the highest version of that was like a uh, fire djinn, like a genie. And well, they did away with all that too, and then it all just had the same look for the most part. And and so there was no more cool, levels for the summons and watching your creatures change as you got more and more powerful versions of the spell. There was just the creature, and it might get a little bigger. Obviously, it does more damage and stuff, but so they really toned down the overhead of the game, I guess. Um, and then I remember getting into arguments back when I participated in that kind of stuff. They were releasing this new update to class gear, and so they were talking about how they were changing how class gear works, right? And all right, um, and so everybody, well, not everybody, but there were people who were like, "This is awesome because now the classes are going to be able to go into a dungeon." Because before, the way it worked was you go into a dungeon, you'd fight through the monsters, and then maybe your class gear would drop. And oh, there's like no path through over here. Uh, and and so the new dungeon did away with that, and so instead of maybe the new maybe your gear would drop to everybody gets tokens. I want to stop the zombies from being able to run up inside here. Um, and so then you would turn the tokens in for your gear, and then you would get appropriate gear. And I was like, man, you know what they're going to do is they're doing away with specific armor drops, and now they're just going to have generalized gear. And so you're going to collect your tokens, and then there'll be a set of gear for each type instead of each specific class. So there'll be caster gear that's shared across all the casters. And there'll be, uh, whereas before, conjurer gear had specific things for conjurers, and now it's just going to be generalized caster gear. And so you won't get those fun extras that only affect your class. Like, no, no, no. It just means that there'll be even more gear choices of it. You know what happened? No. There was there was heavy plate, there was leather, there was chain, uh, and there was cloth basically, and that was it. And then you just chose which one you could wear, and if you were a healer, if you were a healer class, didn't matter which kind, and you were wearing whatever kind of armor you could wear, then it would have some healing related specs, but they weren't specific to your healer class. Anyways, that's a weird tangent from a million years ago. But so back to the summoner thing. So Final Fantasy 14, we're playing through this, right? And so it did a similar thing with the classes, except I don't understand why it did the thing with the classes because they don't work the same way. And so you don't go from mage to summoner to specific type of summoner. In fact, I think summoner is the only class that shares a subclass in the entire game. So, uh, so like a conjurer, I think it's conjurer. A conjurer in Final Fantasy 14 becomes a white mage, which is a healer. A conjurer doesn't become anything else. A white mage is the only thing it becomes. And a thaumaturgist becomes a black mage. Nothing else. It doesn't become anything else. That's just what it is a black mage. Um, a lancer, which is one of the classes that I'm currently leveling. I know that needs more work, but I'm tired of slow motion slamming my pick down because I don't have enough points. Okay, so I want to do. I think this is in line. So, I can't tell if I'm high enough. I think this might be the right level. So, oh shoot, dang it. You know what? I'm not playing Minecraft. Shift does not stop you from going off edges. It makes you run. Uh, so, uh, so we're playing through, and a summoner class, which is what I wanted to play, which is what I am now, shares its base class with another class called a scholar. I'm not really sure where the scholar starts because I just went straight through to become summoner, but I think all the pre-levels up can turn into a scholar. I wanted to be a summoner though, and so so the um, so you play through and you have storylines that play through your particular class, and so I'm playing through the summoner class, or the arcanist, however it's pronounced. So base class, and so then one of the other guys, he's playing a thaumaturgist, and then one of the other guys, um, he's playing what is he playing? He's playing the conjurer to become a white mage, and so we each have our own individual little stories that are specific to our base class. Now, I assume it's going to keep going that way with, like, the summoner will have the summoner storyline as you level up. So this is what I find weird. Or like my lancer, right? My lancer turns into a dragoon. That's it. The lancer doesn't become anything else but a dragoon. So I don't understand this whole base class and then next class. It doesn't make any sense because only one of the classes splits into two different things. And Um, I think I could be wrong. There are many classes, so I definitely could be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure. All right, so now this is one, two. This is 4 blocks apart, so I need to get down here and put some more supports 4 blocks apart because I don't want this to collapse on me. And so we're going through the storyline. And last night we completed our base storylines. And now I have not been with them while they're doing their storylines. We've been in chat together. We haven't really talked about what our storylines are about necessarily. But last night the Black Mage guy is like, "Oh, finally confronting this person I've been fighting against this whole time, and we're having this big epic, magic battle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and uh, okay, 1, 2, 3. It's just somewhere in here. Uh, and the conjurer, on his way to becoming a white mage, he's like, yeah, I've got to fight against these people and cleanse the earth, and sounds like black mage white mage things, right? Big magic battle against a foe. um Cleansing the earth definitely sounds like a white mage kind of thing. And so I'm working on mine. It's definitely summoner related, um, or scholar related, I suppose, if you're going to be a scholar. However, that ties into the Arcanist class. I don't know. And my whole storyline was about pirates. Um, there was nothing about summoning in the whole storyline until the actual fight that made me into a summoner. The entire Arcanist storyline is about pirates. Like the Lancer is all about learning to defend people and protect people. And there's a rogue Lancer who keeps challenging everybody to a fight and is killing young Lancers. Maybe not killing them, but wounding them, and challenges like the leader of the Lancer Guild to a fight, kind of thing. And so that's the Lancer storyline. It's all about the Lancers. It's all about what a Lancer does. About this rogue Lancer. Um, Arcanist? Nope, nope. I am uh, sent out to check the duties, like the money that they have to pay in. I have to check cargo. There's a whole storyline where I have to go out to this place and check cargo manifests, and kind of sounds scholarly. There we go. I guess if you think a scholar is someone who works with numbers, um, and but then you get tested by it's almost like you are being set up to work for the Yellow Jackets, which are the law, the police force for the city I'm in. And because then they're like, okay, so the person who's your summoner mentor, she wants to test your skills. And so to do that, she takes you on a Yellow Jacket mission to go out and confront a ship that they think might be smuggling cargo. All right, I also need to do cement. Do I have a cement mixer? I can make a cement mixer, it looks like. Iron, spring, engine, mechanical parts. That's my steel. I think my iron must be in the forge. Oh, here's iron. Iron, mechanical parts, engine, spring. Okay. Cement mixer. And here is my... Ooh, it's a 3. I can't put it there. I guess we'll have to put it on this side over here, but I'll have to wait until I get my cement going, I guess. Alright. That's fine. And so then when we go on board the ship, right? It's did I make the cement mixer? I don't remember if I told to do that. I did. I can't really do a whole lot until that cement mixer's ready. So I guess we'll go work on that stairway again. I'm gonna add another ladder on the other side over here, I guess, to get up here. And so she is scared to death of this pirate captain. And so she basically shuts down during our battle, and we have to run away. And now I've made it to level 30 as an Arcanist, and they're like, I'm hot on the trail of this guy, and I'm tracking down this guy, and I'm fighting his minions, and you know, and we're building to this big epic battle to end being a thaumaturgist, or you know, the fighting corrupted creatures. As oh man, I'm like out of food and water, and my leg is broken, and I probably should have done something about that. I guess let's go up and do something about that before I do the rest of this. And you know, killing shadow creatures in the forest before they can spread the corruption. And my quest, go to this place and deliver this letter. All right. Now that you've delivered the letter, we need you to go and get a fish from this guy. All right. Now that you got a fish from this guy, take it to the chef. All right. Now that you've taken it to the chef, you get a pie. So now take this pie to this guy. All right. And then you give the pie to the guy, and then he gives you something. Money, I think. He gives you money. And so then you take the money to this dancer. And this is the wrong. And so then the dancer, she takes the money and then gives you, I don't know what she gave me. They told me what the name was, but I didn't recognize the name and I didn't look it up. I have to assume it was an article of clothing. And then you trade that article of clothing from the dancer to this guy for a bottle of wine. And then you take the bottle of wine and you trade it to this pirate guy. And then you meet the somewhere in there you also have to go and talk to this other dancer. And so she goes with you to the pirate guy, and then the pirate guy is taking the dancer back to the pirate ship so that she can dance for the pirates. And so because she looks like that kind of dancer. She's like in a bikini, and so she's an exotic dancer. And so you go back to the... Come on, guys. I'm trying to work here. So you go back to the ship. Oh, ow. Nope. Nope. I am such a bad aim. So you go back to the ship and with the dancer, and then where are you guys coming from? And so then turns out she's your mentor. I didn't recognize her though because it was like a Superman event. She's like running around in her bikini with her hair down, and I'm used to seeing her right with her hair up, wearing glasses in a full like blue jacketed uniform. So I didn't recognize her. I realized somebody sounds very angry. What is going on back here? Jeez, I'm like 2 feet away. I can't hit this woman in the head. I still hear zombies. Does a horde come through? What's going on? So... So then we do have a fight, but it's against this pirate captain. And then as we beat him, he jumps off the ship, and the Yellow Jackets take him captive. And then the trainer lady, she also jumps off the ship to get on a different boat and leaves me on the boat. And that was the end of the Arcanist storyline. And I'm just like, what just happened here? Why am I involved in tracking down pirates? What does this have to do with me being a spellcasting summoner? I don't understand. And so, yeah, it was weird. It was a weird choice when it came to storylines as to why that was the choice for the Arcanist. My Lancer, like I said, he's fighting this other guy, trying to prove that the Lancer guild leader's way is the proper way for a Lancer to behave. And my Arcanist is like, yeah, no, I'm a pirate fighter. And then I do the quest to become a summoner, and they're like, you must go to this other city. I'm like, okay. So I spend my time getting to this other city, and I get there, and the woman's like, oh yeah, I need you to meet me at the other city. So I'm gonna go there now, and then when you get there, look me up. What was the point of that step? Why did you send me to New Gridania if I needed to go to Ul'dah? We could have just met in Ul'dah. And then you go to Ul'dah, and then she's like, yeah, I need you to meet me out here in the desert. So then you go to the desert, and she's like, oh, yeah, I need you to meet me farther out in the desert. Okay. And you get farther out in the desert, and she's like, all right, I'm going to summon this creature, and then I need you to fight and defeat the creature, and then you will be able to summon it. I'm like, cool. This is what I've been waiting for. And so I defeated Ifrit. Where is this buzzard? And so yeah, so I got to be my summoner last night, but I just don't understand the whole pirate thing that's going on in that game to start with. All right, so I need crushed sand, right? And then I need small stones, and then I need cement. And cement comes from the forge where you put the rocks in. So I just need a lot of rocks. So yeah, so that was my experience in becoming a summoner. Weird storyline. Um, I really don't understand. Cleanse the world, big magic fight against a bad guy, prove to the rogue lancer the true meaning of being a lancer, hunt down a pirate captain. Uh, I'm not saying it wasn't fun. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying it seemed like a weird choice. All right, with that, be better than small things, lean in the light, and I will talk to you later.